Hey everyone, welcome back to Desert Gardening with Dustin. So, I know a couple days ago we had a harvest of some celery seed, and some of it was a touch green at that point. It's 2 days later, so I decided to let this just sit and completely dry in the bucket. Everything looks very dark brown now. The little bits of green. I know last time I think we had a little bit of greenery on some of the stems and just a slight bit on some of the seeds, so some of the seeds weren't coming off super easily. Now they should come off very easily. Now I think the easiest way is probably going to now just do it this way and get all the seeds off. Then we're going to have little stems and stuff like that, but these seeds are so fine that I should be able to use a little screen, and that screen should allow these really fine seeds to fall through, but it should pick up all the other leaf material and stem material. We should be able to filter that out. So when it comes to seed cleaning, it seems like there's a lot of that, different sizes of screens and stuff like that that need to be used to screen out different size seeds and leaves and other litter and stuff like that. So I will pause it for a second, and then we will go ahead and pick it up again in a minute once I've done quite a bit more of this seeding. Not done yet, but you can see there's a lot of little stems and stuff in there, but there's also a lot of little seeds that will end up on the pavement, and then when I use the hose to squirt off the patio, you'll end up with a lot of little seeds around the edges of the patio, and that's when you'll get a lot of little stuff that comes up, at least when it's heirloom. I grow mostly all heirloom stuff, so I get a lot of heirloom stuff that pops up all over the place. So anyhow, I don't know, that's the good and the bad about heirloom. Your gardens can get kind of messy, but it's so hard sometimes to pull out everything because it's not in neat rows. Sometimes if nature wants to grow it somewhere, you want to just let it go ahead and come up, because half of the battle sometimes is getting something to germinate and getting it to come up. And when you have some areas that things have popped up on their own, a lot of times I'll leave them. So depending on what it is. But let me keep cleaning some more celery seed. So I picked a lot of the stems out. I'm still collecting stems out. There's still a lot of stems in there, so I'll try to get most of them out by hand. Sometimes as I pull those little stems up, they have clusters of seeds on them, so then you got to knock those seeds back into the bucket. You can see we're starting to make a mess for sure of just a lot of seeds go everywhere, and it's just kind of the norm with heirloom stuff. So especially with stuff like celery or lettuce, things that have such small seeds. But it is what it is. So if you want to get a good amount of seed and not have to buy seed all the time, that's the bonus with working with heirloom. And once this gets all cleaned up, we'll see what we end up with for amount of seed. Now, I always seem to have a lot of screen around. I use a lot of screens for sunscreens. Sometimes I'll buy rolls of screen, and I may double it over and use it in places for sunscreens. But the nice thing about this is it works well for screening stuff when you're trying to screen seeds. So let me see here. So we got some stuff in here. This should let all the little seeds go through. Sometimes you got to move some stuff around and shake it a bit, and we'll see what we get in a minute here. The other thing you might have to do periodically is just take it and just kind of run it around between your hands and fingers and stuff. That way, if there are any little bunches or clusters of seeds still in there that haven't been knocked off of the clusters, it helps all of that come loose. And I think mostly right now we just have a lot of the spent chaff and stems and stuff, but we will shake it up a little bit more, and then we'll show you what's in there. And this was only, I think it was about 3 plants. I believe it was 3 plants of celery. So there are a few stems that have gone through, so we'll probably filter one more time. And now I've dumped stuff in this bucket. We will just run it around, let the seeds fall through. And that looks pretty good. That looks like we've got the rest of the stems and bits of leaves and things like that, and the seeds have mostly fallen through. I filtered one more time, and I think we're about done. So I put the seeds in this container right here, and I don't know if you can tell, but I mean, those seeds are small. They're tiny seeds, and so there's a little bit of leaf litter and a few little stems in there, but for the most part it's gone. You could definitely filter with a smaller screen or filter through a doubled up screen, which maybe I'll do that, but if I'm just keeping it for seed, it's probably not absolutely necessary. That is probably somewhere between 1 inch and 1.5 inches deep of seed, and oh, it smells heavenly. If you've ever had fresh celery salt or celery seed, that celery smell, it smells awesome. So anyhow, it's very, very potent, and of course I suppose if it still smells pretty strong when you go to plant it, it's probably still good, but tiny seeds don't last as long. So anyhow, that is the process for cleaning celery seed, or there might be some other ways to do it. That's how I do it. And through all the years of growing things and cleaning seed, there's definitely been different ways I do things. People may do some things differently, but if you don't have ideas, that's how to do it. So thanks for watching and listening along, and if you have any thoughts, you can leave it in the comments.